Hey guys, welcome back, and this will be the second part to what if the Uzumaki had a hidden genkai. Now, where we last let off, Naruto pretty much figures out that Danzo is the main reason for the Shihan massacre, and he plans on destroying all the eyes of the Uchihas. And for Goku, before he died, before he died, he told Naruto to take his eyes and claim them as his own. And Naruto did as he asked after he killed him. He got his eyes and kept them in him for a moment, and pretty much let Migato live because she was the last remaining piece of pretty much Naruto's family, if you could say that. And Itachi still did his thing, and Sasuke is unconscious for 3 days, which those 3 days he can spend with Mikito, which he does. Now we get to the story. Mikito, this is the next morning, and Naruto wakes up and stands up. When he sees Mikito, he goes straight to hug her. Then when he does, she stops for a second and then hugs him back. And he asks her, anything that Mikito-san, anything I tell you on this room, can you keep it a secret, please? I don't want any of it going out to anyone. And only Mikito is in the area, so yeah. And no one can see it or hear them. And Mikito goes, of course, Naruto, what is it? And Naruto goes like, apparently my client had a hidden genkai. If you want to see it, use your Sharingan. I've put a Genjutsu on it so no one will, so I would look exactly the same and no one would get suspicious. And she goes like, alright, Naruto. And she does, and she goes like, oh. And what she sees is his hair mostly black, but the top of his head red, yellow. Then right after she turns on her Sharingan, a minute later he shows her his wings, and Michiko goes like, oh, so this isn't Genkai? What did you call it? Itachi thought of this idea, but he called it Darkness Release. I think it's pretty good. A pretty good name for it, especially the way I look like. And and what it did. As far as I know. And for the passive abilities of this Genkai, even without it on, well, you using it, is, well, actually this Genkai is always on. So yeah, these are the passive abilities. Regeneration times 2, strength times 2, speed times 2, durability times 2, intelligence times 3, wisdom times 2, regeneration times 2. And you need to remember, he got trained in the sword style. And Naruto was taught the most powerful sword style on that world. Well, in the world. So he's going to be a very powerful swordsman. And the ninjutsu is also increased by 2. So yeah, they're twice as powerful. I forgot to mention something. This genjutsu can only be taken down by the users. Like, if the user wants this genjutsu down, they have to manually do it. This will not drain chakra, and if you're unconscious, it will still be active. So yeah, this is a weak but powerful genjutsu. And Mikhail goes like, and Naruto goes like, so, Aunt Miko-san, what do you want to do for today? And she has a confusionally, Aunt? He goes like, well, you were friends with Mom, so I thought that she would think as you as a sister. And Mikoto chuckles a little bit, and she goes like, I bet she would. I bet she did. And so, what are we gonna do? So, what do you want to do? Aunt Mikoto-san. And she goes, what do you want to do? I don't know. Then we skip to the end of the day, and Naruto goes like, it's gonna be, since I want to pretty much keep our relationship a secret, keep the relationship we have a secret, do you have a shadow clone jutsu? And she goes like, yes. And he goes like, I did. And she goes like, what is it? When you want to hang out with me, or I want to hang out with you, we'll send our shadow clones to each other. Then when we're done hanging out with each other with the shadow clones, we'll disperse them. And Miko goes like, that's a good idea. And side note, Naruto has like enough money to actually buy a house in that village now. But we're gonna say at that moment there is no houses available. And Mitsuko goes like, so, and Naruto hugs her and gives her a kiss on the cheek and goes like, and before he does that, he asks, tomorrow, could you help me with shopping? Because of, you know what? And she was like, of course, honey. And he hugs her and gives her a kiss on her cheek and goes like, see you tomorrow. And she goes like, and then we get to Naruto since he goes like, since my apartment got burned down when I was 6, I'm gonna go to the training field that I trained at before. And he goes there and sleeps there. Then we see a Anbu in a tree watching Naruto. And he does, and none of the Anbu or the Hokage himself know of what happened to Naruto. They just think that Naruto's in somewhere in the village they just couldn't find. And this Anbu takes off his mask and goes like, where were you, Naruto? And it's Kakashi Hatake with his headband over the eye that has the Sharingan in it. And next day, well, after that, Kakashi leaves, and Naruto wakes up, hunts for some, just goes straight to Mitsuko, and Sasuke is knocked out for 2 more days. We get to Sasuke, and he's still unconscious. Now we get back to Naruto, and he goes over to where Mikoto is, and goes like, Mikoto-san? And she goes like, Naruto, you ready? And he shakes his head in a yes motion excitedly. And she says, you're excited, aren't you, Naruto? And he goes like, well, yeah. I'm gonna be spending time with one of the closest thing I can call family. And Mikoto goes like, aww, you're such a cutie. And he goes like, it can't be. I may be cute, but I can be powerful too. And she goes like, that's true. Oh, come on now. You said you want to go shopping, right? And he goes, yay. Then we get to the clothing shop. The owner of the clothing shop was about to kick Naruto out, and Mikoto pretty much knows what Katrina would have done if she was still alive, which would be yell at the cashier or owner to let Naruto buy stuff. And when she does, and you see Naruto with that type of clothing, and he goes up to the cashier, and the cashier says twice the amount of a regular realtor or ninja's payment, or how much he just says twice the amount of what you would have to pay. And Naruto pays it exactly. And Michiko goes like, why did he... Michiko asks Naruto, why did he have the payment that high? And Naruto goes like, I think you know that. I think you just answered that here. I think you just answered that. Not really. And Michiko goes like, oh, yeah. And Naruto goes like, anyway, ready for the night shift? And she goes like, sure, Naruto. Then we go to the weapon shop. And the same thing happens. And he gets 200 kunai and shuriken. And he looks around for a sword because the sword he had broke like a year ago. But he's still like as good as Zabuza. Well, no, better than Zabuza in sword fighting. And Naruto finds. If you guys know, please know this. The origin of this sword points to you. Sandai Kaitetsu. And Naruto goes like, oh yes. And unbeknownst to and the cashier thought that this would be one of the most useless type of the worst sword that you could get. And Naruto knew that this was one of the best swords, but the cashier didn't because he wasn't specialized in swordsmanship. And Naruto goes like, and the cashier does his thing, and it's a tad bit more than the clothing store, but that's because of its weapons. And Naruto pays for it. And Naruto goes like, yes, I got my way. Mikoto, are you hungry? And Mikoto goes like, I could get something to eat. How about you? I'm starving. I haven't eaten anything in 2 days. No, it would be a week. In a week. And she goes like, what? Why? I couldn't find any good food. Any good animals to cook up. And she goes like, oh, okay. Come on, let's go to let's get some food then. And they go to a barbecue. Then when they're done at the barbecue, Naruto goes like, have you had ramen before? And I believe she has it in the canon, so I'm gonna keep it like that. And she goes like, no, I believe I haven't. And Naruto goes like, from what I remember, I thought it was the best thing ever. You wanna try it? And she goes like, sure, honey. And they go to the ramen shop. And when Naruto goes into the ramen shop, Naruto goes like, "Hey, old man," and he just turns around and goes like, "Naruto," and his daughter just goes like, "Naruto," and they ask, "Where have you been?" And Naruto goes like, "What?" He, he goes like, "Oh, what?" "Oh, I brought someone with me." And the old man goes like, "Ah, so you brought someone. Who is it?" And the order goes like, "You being ready, old man? You get cool." And she walks in and she goes like, and the old man goes like, "Ah, Mikoto, I've heard of you from Naruto." And Mikoto goes like, "Really?" And the old man goes like, "Yeah, well, I've only heard of him talk about you only a few times. He did do his research on your clan, so there's that." And she goes, "Ah, I see." And Naruto pops in and goes like, "I only did that to learn as much about your family as possible," and in a little bit shy tone, because he's embarrassed. And Mikako just rubs his hair and goes like, "Don't worry, Naruto." And Naruto goes like, "Anyway, what would you like?" And Minato doesn't know what to choose and goes like, "Naruto, could you pick something out for me and you?" And Naruto goes like, "Sure, Miko-san." And Naruto chooses this for both of them. Because this time he's actually going for a little bit more balanced. And the woman goes like, "Coming right up." Then when it's ready, they chow down. They takes a bite and she likes it, and she just goes like, "This is good, Naruto. You're right." And Naruto goes like, "Thank you, Mikoto." Igato. And she ruffles his hair and they start eating and they finish. Then we get to 5 minutes later and Naruto just has 4 bowls to finish it. Mikko just did 2 bowls. And everyone goes like, "Would that be all?" And Naruto goes like, "Yes." And he says the amount he would say for Naruto, which is better than the shopkeepers. And Naruto goes like, "Okay," and he pays him the exact amount, and Norman goes like, "Thank you for coming, Naruto." And Naruto goes like, "You're welcome." And Naruto goes like, "So, what are we gonna be doing now for tomorrow? And at this moment, it's nighttime for them. And Naruto goes like, I might go talk to the Hokage to talk about a new household. And she goes like, why is that? Well, you remember what the villagers would do? Or the sounds that you'd hear around the day of my birth? And Minato goes like, yes. Remember what also happened on that day? And she goes like, yes. Now piece the puzzles together. Piece the dots together. What do you get? And she goes like, angry mob. And he goes like, bingo. And what do you think they did to my house when I was 4? And she goes like, oh my god. They burned your freaking apartment down. And he goes like, yes. Wait, actually I was 6. My bad. Yeah. And he rubs the back of his head. And after that day, I ran into the forest and had a certain someone help me. And she goes like, okay, so I'll see you around now, Naruto. And they pass what? And they part ways. Naruto goes to where he trained again and he went to lay down. Then Naruto goes like, he stares directly at the Anbu, which is Kakashi again. And says, can you come down from there, Kakashi? Like for a moment he squinted his eyes and he saw who exactly it was by just looking at his eye, which was Kakashi's eyes. So he knew exactly who it was. And Kakashi goes like, he pretty much takes off his Anbu mask and goes like, how did you know it was me, Naruto? And Naruto goes like, your eye? And you're the only one that I know that has a Sharingan in their eye, in one of their eyes. And Kakashi goes like, oh, so you know about that. And Naruto goes like, well, who wouldn't want to get information for their possible future teacher? And Kakashi goes like, what made you think that I'm gonna be your future teacher or a possible teacher? And Naruto just says, well, obviously someone's gonna need to, well, the third hope, the way I see it, the third Hokage is gonna need someone to calm down, he puts in quotation marks, contain the Kyuubi. And he would want someone that would have a Sharingan and also is a high rank in the ninja world, which now the only remaining person with a Sharingan and with a high enough rank is you. That is not a... I'm not gonna finish that. And Kakashi cautions this in, but just lets it go for now. And Kakashi goes like, so you know about the QB? And Naruto goes like, no, the QB. I've been talking to the QB for 2 years. And Kakashi goes like, wait, what? And Naruto goes like, yeah. And did you know that the tail beasts had names? And Kakashi goes like, no, I did not. And Kakashi. Naruto goes like, Kakashi goes like, yes, Naruto? And Naruto just says one word. Namikaze. And he giggles a little bit. And Kakashi goes like, how do you know such information? And Naruto would go like, well, first Kakashi would ask, did anyone tell you? Well, first she would say, how did you figure out this number? Did someone tell you this information? And Naruto would go like, no. And Kakashi would go like, how do you know this information then? I know it since day one. And Kakashi is confused and goes like, what do you mean by that? And Naruto goes like, I mean by day one. Like day one of my birth. I don't know how, but I have perfect memory of what happened that day. I know that I'm constantly in an Uzumaki, and that I'm probably one of the last of my clan. And Kakashi goes like, you're too smart for good. And Naruto replies with, the villagers are too dumb for their good. And Kakashi stops for a second and goes like, you have a point there. And Naruto goes like, yeah, seriously. By now they should have figured out that I'm the fourth Hokage's son. What's my hair right now? Do I not look like him? Almost completely. And Kakashi thinks about it for a little bit and goes like, yes. And Naruto goes like, if someone removed my whiskers, these whiskers off my face, you would see pretty much a replica of the fourth Hokage. And then Naruto would say, Kakashi. And he'll go like, yes, Naruto? Could you not tell your reason? And Kakashi would go like, why is this, Naruto? One reason. I don't want anyone to know that I know anything about my heritage. Mm-hmm. Or the QB. I want to make it look like I'm a dum-dum. And Kakashi go like, why? And Naruto would just go like, deception is the ninja's greatest tool. And Kakashi would like, good point. And then Naruto would be like, hey Kakashi, I'll make a deal with you. Well, actually, Kakashi. And he goes like, yes, Naruto. Would it be possible if I could stay at your house? And Kakashi would be like, why? And Naruto would go like, do you not see the apartment I was in? Like 6 years, like when I was freaking 6. Kakashi would think back about it and go like, oh yeah, the apartment got burned down. And Naruto would go like, and by the villagers no less. Stupid villagers. Anyway, would it be possible to, if I could stay with you until I'm able to get a house of my own? And Kakashi would be like, of course. And Naruto would be like, also I know that my dad was your sensei. And Kakashi was like, how did you learn of that? I looked up your history. And Kakashi was like, that makes sense. So, what's in those bags? And Naruto would be like, clothing and weapons. And Kakashi would go like, and the weapons are for being a ninja? Why else? What else would they be used for? And Kakashi, and when you become my sensei, which I'm pretty sure you will, I'll tell you the Kyuubi's name. And if you don't, I'm still gonna live it. Probably. And Kakashi goes like, alright. Deal. And Naruto goes like, could you help me with these bags though? They're kind of heavy for me. I'm not used to carrying that much yet. And she goes like, of course, Naruto. And he would be like, thank you, Kakashi. I would get to where Kakashi would live. And Naruto would ask, do you have a spare room in this household? And Kakashi would go like, yeah. And Naruto would be like, thank you. And he goes to that room and puts those clothes away. And he has like 20 pairs of those exact clothing. It's just, they're colored different. Each one is colored differently. Now we get to Naruto going to the academy, and Sasuke does not pretty much blocked the memory out of Naruto even being there. All he knows is that only one member of his family is alive other than Itachi. And he's still gonna be that emo brat. Just 1% less emo. Just because he has his mother. And as soon as Sasuke gets in there and starts acting emo, Naruto just ignores him completely. And in his mind he goes like, I knew it. And Karma chuckles a bit because, yeah. And right now Naruto does not have the sword with him at all. Actually, he does. It's just nobody knows. And he pretty much has a genjutsu all around his body to make it look like he is just the same, like he doesn't have any ceiling tags on him or not. And he has a genjutsu can only be seen, only people with a Sharingan or Rinnegan can see right through the genjutsu. So anyone else, nah, they just see what Naruto would have looked like. But Naruto's clothing is still going to be the same as he picked. Right now he doesn't have his jacket thing on. Now we skip a few years to when Naruto was 12. Or was it 13? I think it was 12. And they do the exams to become ninjas. And Naruto just passes easily. And Kakashi and Naruto are really close. Naruto thinks as Kakashi as a brother. And if you get rid of the genjutsu, Naruto's eyes are now red, as are exactly Kurama's eyes. And if it weren't for that cage that is sealed up, Naruto and Kurama would be perfectly synced. They're just not perfectly synced yet. So they can't use so Naruto or Kurama can't use their full power together. And Naruto's making a new jutsu, which you guys will find out in the future. You guys will probably like it or probably hate it. I don't care. I'm still doing it. And when we get to and Kurama and Naruto are like inseparable now. And I forgot to mention this, but As Naruto found a jar where he could sustain Goku's eyes, he did that like in the middle of the night when he was 10, when he was 10 years old, and at night he asked Karma if it was possible for her to bring most of her chakra outside of his body so she could help him with something. Which she can do that, and it won't make it so he would die eventually from that. Like, she left 10% of her chakra in there. And the rest just came out of his body and formed her. And he asked, is it possible if you could connect my eyes, the nerves in my eyes with the eyes that I want you to put in? And Kurama goes like, of course not, Joe, I can do that. And Naruto goes like, perfect. And he draws Gaku's eyes and gives them to Kurama and goes like, I want you to completely plant these and make them as if they are mine. And Kurama goes like, are you sure? And Naruto goes like, yeah, I want it to be able to use the Sharingan to its fullest potential and be able to turn off the Sharingan as well. And Karma goes like, alright then. And she gets to work. Now for that flashback, we get to 12 hours later, and it's in the morning, and Naruto's eyes are complete. And he turned off the Sharingan. It just looks like his regular eyes, which are blue. Because she made it so it was his regular eye color. But he still had the Sharingan. And Naruto was like, thank you, Kurama. And subconsciously kissed Kurama on the cheek. Then when he realized what he did, he just is blushing of embarrassment and goes like, and Kurama struggles a little bit and kisses him on the forehead. It's okay, Naruto. Anyway, going back, I'm putting my chakra back inside, okay? And Naruto goes like, okay, Kurama. It's like, wow. And she goes like, you too. And then she goes back into Naruto's body. That's the end of flashback. Now we get to the day that now we get to Naruto heading back to the household of Kakashi Hatake, and Naruto being like, hey Kakashi. And Kakashi going like, yes Naruto? I'm pissed. And Kakashi goes like, good for you Naruto. And Naruto goes, I have something a little bit serious to talk to you about. And Kakashi goes like, yes Naruto? I think Mizuki is gonna try to get someone to steal the scroll for him. And Kakashi was like, what would make you say that? And then Naruto says, because he tried it with me. Mizuki pretty much said, you want more power, and I just said no and walked away. And Kakashi goes like, thank you for telling me. Naruto. And he goes like, no problem, big buddy. And Naruto goes, and Kakashi goes like, that's alright, Naruto. And Naruto just stares a little bit. Just hugs Kakashi and goes like, could you quickly tell me your reason is? And Kakashi goes like, of course, Naruto. And he tells Hiruzen this. Hiruzen at first doesn't believe it. Then he asks for Naruto. Kakashi goes to grab Naruto. Naruto just like, oh, you old man, what do you want? I guess you want me to confirm what I asked Kakashi to tell you? And Hiruzen goes like, yes. So, is this true? And Naruto goes like, yes, it is true. I would not lie on purpose. And Kakashi catches this, and thinks in his head, what does it mean by that? And Hiruzen goes like, alright then. And Naruto would be like, I would be thinking you would want to put more guards on the scroll ceiling, since I think he's gonna try and get someone to steal it, or steal it himself. And then, then we get to Mizuki couldn't find anyone else to steal the scroll ceiling for him, so he did it himself. And he got busted real fast. And Naruto really, in the Anbu, well, basically all the ninja that was surrounding the scroll ceiling just pummeled Mizuki. And Kakashi goes like, good job, Naruto, when he hears the news. And Kakashi is changed into a teacher. And Kakashi goes like, huh, Naruto was right. And the day of the team assignment, assignments, and Raku goes like, Team 7, Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha, and Sakura Haruno. And Naruto just goes like, oh great, I'm with these idiots. Team leader, Kakashi Hatake, and Naruto's eyes. And Naruto just gets a smirk and goes like, these two are gonna be fun as hell. And Naruto just goes like, well, Naruto just, then when all the people leave and Kakashi's still not there, Naruto just sleeps. Because he knows that Kakashi's gonna be late. And since I need to tell you guys this, since Naruto did hunt for 2 years for food, he is gonna have some bloodlust. Not a lot though. And when Kakashi gets there, sees Naruto just sleeping. And he just thinks and said, of course Naruto would do this. And he walks up and he pretty much says, my first expression, my person, he basically says that it looks like this team is boring. But he just looks at Sasuke and Sakura. Because he pretty much knows that Naruto's hiding something. And he goes like, and Naruto just wakes up and goes like, hey, Sensei. So, on top of the roof, and Kakashi goes like, yep. And Naruto goes like, I'll meet you there. And Sasuke and Sakura are like, how does he know our sensei? And when they get up to the roof, and Kakashi goes like, you guys, alright, I want you guys to tell your group, your team, your hopes and dreams. Your life takes place in dreams. And he points at Sakura first, and she does her shit. Which is liking Sasuke, and Naruto doesn't, and this line, Naruto doesn't even look at Sakura in any way possible. He just thinks she is fucking annoying. And the only type of feeling she has for a female is Karama. And Mikoto. And he shows Kurama a little bit more love than Mikoto because technically Kurama is the first woman that Naruto felt love towards and happiness. So yeah, and Sakura does her shit. Minus calling, just not disliking Naruto in the same way. Just her Sasuke shit. Yeah, he looks at Sasuke, then Kakashi looks at Sasuke. He does his emo shit. Like, I want to avenge my clan. I don't have a dream. I have a goal that will make it a reality. I must kill a certain someone. And Naruto goes in his mind, Itachi. Like, both Kakashi and Naruto goes like, Itachi. And then he goes to Naruto. And Naruto just says, my legs. I don't feel like it's giving you. My dislikes. People that underestimate people just by their looks. And my goal, I also don't feel like giving you. And Kashi was like, nice. Kashi just says in his mind, nice. Because he's pretty much did what Kakashi did. Except that he did tell them his dislikes. And Kakashi doesn't even know most of his likes and his goal. So yeah, his goal is a secret to everybody except Kurama. And Mikoto does know some of his likes. And Kakashi only knows of one or two. And Kakashi just goes like, okay, tomorrow meet me at training grounds 7. And don't eat breakfast or you'll puke. And Naruto just sees straight through this and goes like, just pretty much says an expression, Kakashi, you idiot. Well, no, Naruto would say it with expressions, Kakashi, you smart. Naruto with expressions would say to Kakashi, you know these two aren't gonna fall for that, right? And Kakashi with his expressions towards Naruto would go like, yeah, they are. And Naruto would just show a smirk on his face and go like, well, I'm off now. And Naruto pretty much just body flicker. And Kakashi goes like, why did he learn that? And when Kakashi gets home with Naruto being there, Naruto would be like, alright, I think it's time for you to know the Kyuubi's name. And Kakashi would be like, oh yeah, you did say that you would tell me when I became your teacher. And Naruto would be like, come on Kakashi, we're gonna do a special thing. And this is a jutsu that he made so other people could enter his mindscape. And it's pretty much like connecting the minds. And Naruto basically makes a seal on the ground. And Kakashi would be like, what's this for? And Naruto would be like, come on, we're gonna sit in it real quick. We're gonna sit in it. And Kakashi would be like, why? And Naruto would just say, just do it. And he would be like, and just sit in it. Naruto would go through hand signs. Naruto goes through these hand signs. Horse, snake, monkey, rat. No, not rat. Tiger, boar, dragon, dog. Then he slants his hands on the ground and pretty much Kakashi then goes into Naruto's mindscape in Naruto, and it is a forest. And Kakashi sees Naruto right next to him, and Naruto would be like, beautiful, is it not? And Kakashi would be like, yes, it is. Where are we? Kakashi would ask, and Naruto would be like, mindscape. Pretty much my mindscape. Come on now. Then we get to, and Kakashi and Naruto walked towards where Kurama's gate is. And Kakashi would be like, oh. So this is where the QB is. And Naruto would be like, yes, and you'll be surprised by how the QB looks now. And Kakashi would be like, what do you mean? Then Naruto would be like, just be like, wait right here. And he would walk to the, pretty much what the Namikaze compound would look like. Well, the of the Namikaze compound. And he would knock and go like, Grandma. And Grandma would calm down and go like, Naruto, where is it? And Naruto would be like, well, remember Kakashi? And she would be like, yeah. Do you sense his chakra? And she would be like, you brought him into your mindscape, didn't you? And he scratches the back of his head and goes like, yeah. I promised him when he became my teacher I would tell him your name. And I thought the best way to do it would be this. And Kurama would be like, Naruto. And Naruto would be like, okay, come on, Grandma. And then they would walk up to Kakashi. And Kakashi would be like, who this? And Naruto would be like, this? It's a Kyuubi. Or her name, Kurama. And Kurama can only go to the front, can't pass the gate because it's like an invisible force field for her. And Kakashi would be like, wow, just wow. Apparently, the Kurama hat cute, and Naruto glares at Kakashi and goes like, Kakashi. And Kakashi goes like, okay, like Kurama had a human form, not unless a girl. And then Naruto says, Kakashi, do you truly want to know what my goal is? And Kakashi would be like, yes. And Naruto would be like, okay, sit down. You're gonna have a story told to you. Then Naruto would be like, Grandma, could you tell him the story, please? And Kurama would be like, of course, Naruto. Then she tells Kakashi his story. Well, her story. And Kakashi would be like, what the hell? And so, the Station 6 Pass stories are real. Naruto would be like, yes. The Kyuubi's had human form. Yes. Then they got those animal forms. Yes. Holy crap. And Naruto would be like, yeah. And Naruto would be like, and once I find a certain someone, I'll be able to get the seal off this cage. And Kakashi goes, okay, I see, so you want to set Kurama, pretty much set Kurama free of that cage. And Naruto will be like, yes, and you know what creature should be used as a weapon? Especially something that is so precious. And then Naruto goes like, I said that out loud, didn't I? And Kurama will be like, yeah, you did, Naruto. You did it again. And Kakashi will be like, again? Then Naruto would be like, I did say that I've been talking to her for 2 years. Well, I started talking to her when I was 6, so yeah, I've known her for a long time. And Kakashi would be like, of course. And Naruto would be like, so Kakashi, let's get out of my mindscape now. And Naruto and Kakashi would be like, okay. And they get out of his mindscape, and Naruto would destroy the seal, and Naruto would be like, so Kakashi, the test is about teamwork, isn't it? And Kakashi would be like, what made you say that? And Naruto would be like, come on, I know what happened to your teammates. And I know you're the son of the White Fang. So you're gonna be thinking that team both completing the mission and not leaving your teammates, your comments behind it is scum. And Kakashi like, you're choosing that free age, like crying a little bit, and Naruto would be like, I feel like I'm one of the only. I feel like I'm one of the smartest kids in this entire village. Apart from Shikamaru, I wish he was on my team. And Josh would be like, why is that? And Naruto would be like, a banshee and a emo brat is on my team. And Naruto would be like, you got one there. And Naruto would be like, well, since I've known you for long, Kakashi, I want to tell you something. And Kakashi would be like, yes, Naruto? please don't yell at me for this. And Kakashi would be, why would I yell at you? And Kakashi, and then Naruto would be like, I was at the Uchiha compound when the massacre happened. And Kakashi was like, you what? And Naruto would be like, yes. And also, I did something that would delay a certain person from gaining more power. And Kakashi would be like, what did you do then? And Naruto would be like, I burned the Uchiha eyes. Of all the dead Uchiha. And Kakashi would be like, oh, that's your idea. But who was it that you wanted to not give more power to? And Naruto would just go like, I think you know who. Who has advantage over their eye? And Kakashi would think about it and go like, Danzo? And Naruto would be like, bingo. And what do you think he has in that eye of his? And Kakashi would be like, oh, well shit. And Naruto would be like, yeah. And I got my first kill there. And Kakashi would be like, wait, what? Yeah. And I know about what Danzo did. What Danzo did to make it so Itachi had to forcibly do the Gion massacre. And Kakashi would be like, oh, fuck. And Naruto would be like, yeah. And who do you think my first kill was? And Kakashi would think and go like, I don't know. And Naruto would be like, it's Fugaku and I'm not. And Kakashi would be like, And Naruto would be like, oh, I also got a gift from him. And Kakashi would be like, And he plays his Sharingan. And Kakashi would be like, how in the bloody world did you do that? And Naruto would be like, can I help you with that? I could probably do it with your eye. And Kakashi would go like, please do. And Naruto would be like, it'd take me a few hours. Do you have anything to numb pain? And Kakashi would be like, yeah, why? I think you're gonna need to use some of them so this doesn't hurt at all, or as much as it would. And Kakashi goes like, okay. And then he takes those painkillers, or whatever they would be in this world. Then Naruto makes it so his nerves, the nerves of the eyes are connected to that eye that Kakashi uses. And Naruto goes like, okay, now you can deactivate it. And Kakashi goes like, oh, that's much better. And Naruto goes like, now I can see perfectly out of two eyes. Kakashi, I have a question. And Kakashi will be like, yes, Naruto? What was your Uchiha name? What was your Uchiha friend's name? And you'd be like, Aruto? Why? And you'd be like, hold on, give me a minute. And Naruto's eyes widening a bit, and And Naruto will be like, the reports on that mission that you guys went on said that he died, right? And Kakashi will be like, yeah. Well, on the day I was born, I felt something that Minato would have that Dad would have so on that day of my birth, I saw someone that Dad would have noticed without a mask on. So the first thing I thought, his friend, that he made it so the foxes attacked the village, so I can only think of one thing. And Kakashi goes like, and what do you think? And Naruto goes like, I can only think of one person that both you and Dad would have known. Obito. Somehow he survived whatever happened to him. And Kakashi would be like, he got crushed by a boulder. And Naruto would be like, I wonder how it survived. And Kakashi goes like, I don't know, but if your theory is correct, we'll find out. And Naruto would like, okay. Well, anyway, I'm gonna do some training. Please don't bother me. You know, like, alright, Naruto. And in this training, Naruto has made darkness release jutsus. Like, darkness release flame. Like, darkness release. Dark flames. So far, he's made 2 jutsus from his darkness release. And they are darkness release, black flames, and darkness release, dark cloud. Which pretty much is like the mist that Zabuza uses. But it is filled with darkness. And you can't use anything to blow it away. Only the user of the attack can blow it away. And you can't sense anything through it. Not even bloodless. So yeah, that is powerful. And the flames are a tad bit harder than the Amaterasu. And Naruto knows has now 4 chakra natures. And he knows every single water and earth style. And knows very powerful wind jutsus. And he knows the fireball jutsu for the fireballs. For the wild fire style. Now we get to the battle test. And right now, if Naruto would release the Genjutsu, his hair would be completely black. And you see Naruto with the sword on his back and the pouch. And Kakashi would be like, ooh, you brought the sword. Neat. And Kakashi comes like an hour or 2 later and says he's he's walked on the path of life. Now I don't know what he means. And the Banshee just says, fire! And Kashiko like, now, onto the test. The belt. We're doing the belt test. And that's where I'm going to end it off. If you like this, like and subscribe and wait for more content. Anyway, peace.